Hello, this is Marc, and this is a short informative video on the topic of why on earth do you want to pay taxes? Valid point. Okay. The federal government, about 4 months ago, started coming to compassion clubs and MMAR growers and said, go get a tax number. Okay, 5% tax. We want 5% tax no matter what. The excuse, we're not going to give you any protection for this. We just want a 5% tax. And sent to the federal government. Now, they're not calling it a GST. Why? That's 7%, but there's another 5% going to the province and 2% for administration. And the provinces want no part of this. That's why it's only a 5% tax, because it's a federal tax, strictly a federal tax, not a provincial tax, not even involved. That's an issue. That's pertinent to what we're doing. On why on earth do you want to pay taxes to the federal government? They guarantee, and they say flat out, if you've got to get this tax form from Revenue Canada and start paying 5% taxes on your sales. That means you're in the system. Okay? Now, we, the Marijuana Party, look at the fact that up till the time when the government said we want to start collecting taxes, we really had no argument of why we should be able to collect taxes too. Because we can and we are protecting our beliefs through taxation. Okay? And as I said in the last video, we don't have to pay our tax. In fact, it's against the law to pay our tax, remit our taxes to the feds. We're in opposition to the feds. We're supposed to cost the feds money when we uphold our beliefs through taxation. And our avenue to pay taxes is through the province or the city. In the jurisdictional realms of BC, that means the city. If you're in the jurisdictional realms of Ontario and most other provinces, that's to the province. And I'd have to get into that deep, but we don't have time on this video. Basically, why on earth would you want to pay taxes to the Marijuana Party of Canada or through the Marijuana Party of Canada to remit to a city? Because you actually guaranteed to have protection under the rule of law. That's as simple as that. Okay? It normalizes the marijuana trade. Now, today is the 18th, or the 28th, I'm sorry. Today is the 28th. It's that 10-day period since I last filed my last document, and I had to wait till today, okay, out of what's called a grace period. I filed on short leave, and the grace period of short leave has just now reached this point. So now I can file, okay? And we're faced with today wanting to file, but we need to clarify a small issue, which may delay the filing till Monday or Tuesday, because Tuesday is April the 1st, okay? And they're really, we can, and actually we're being pressed that we can't do it right now, okay? And it's just a minor issue, don't worry about it. Okay, but regardless, we're filing a very, very short notice, okay? You see this? Okay, it's an affidavit that's this long, and on the other side, it's a short leave motion on this side, okay? I'll post it today because there's no reason to hide it. Okay? Now, because everyone's been unofficially served. Isn't that cool? And that's all there is to it. I've had lawyers shudder and over this filing, okay? The wording is so tight, okay? Now, one of the reasons it's so small is because I stick to, frankly, no matter that the courts can deal with. And I could start throwing in long arguments which would drag the courts in. But I want to get the Supreme Court of Canada. Okay? Because parliamentary issues and the Marijuana Party's beliefs and jurisdiction is under the Supreme Court of Canada. Period. So this is just a short lead notice saying, send us to the Supreme Court of Canada. Okay? Real quick on short leave, because the MMPR program are really tightening the screws, and this is not the video to express that. All I'm saying is that if anybody there thinks they're protecting their beliefs by paying taxes to the feds is dreaming in Technicolor, and frankly, we're going to the Supreme Court of Canada to show that you can pay your taxes to us. Isn't that cool? And have full protection from your local municipality or principality in the cases of Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. They're principalities. In BC, we're still a municipality, and under municipalities, you pay the taxes to the city. Under principalities, you would remit the taxes to the province. And they would share it with the city, and the city would share it with the province. That's just the way it is, okay? Different jurisdictions, okay? Now, on another issue. Now, the basic question arises, and it's really tight, okay? It's so tight that it's by sticking to one issue. Now, I'm leaning on 4 case law precedences that all call themselves the genesis of fundamental reform. And they add the phrase, without, let me see, where is that? Despite its effect on society. Okay, because that's what Big M Drug Mart did, and that's what the definition of free and democratic society did. And that's also the definition of free. And that's what we're actually trying to do, is gain our freedom through a free and democratic means. And the case law precedences for those are really tight. Okay? 1, were you aware that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 1, is based on case law, uses the phrase, a free and democratic society. And that's based on R.V. Oakes. R.V. Oakes is the case law precedent that took down the Narcotics Control Act, and it's a medical cannabis defense. This guy called Oakes was busted in Toronto, I think, and he had a pocket full of hash oil vials in one pocket. He had like $700 or so in his other pocket, and he had a workman's compensation stub for like $1,200 that he just cashed, and he said the difference was, I bought my medicine in this pocket, and there's the balance. And you can't say that I have to prove myself innocent until I have to prove myself. You can call me guilty until I find myself innocent. And he won, and it took down the Narcotics Control Act. It was replaced by the CDSA. Okay? But in foundation, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 1, is founded on a medical cannabis case. And it's very relevant to our case. It means the Section 1 is very relevant to the Marijuana Party of Canada. Now, that's connected to a Big M Drug Mart, which is free, and Free Society, which is also tacked to Big M Drug Mart, which is also what's called a genesis case. Okay? And all of this is standing under freedom of contract, which stands under no case law. It's a given. It's an absolute given. Okay? There are no case law precedences for freedom of contract. It goes back that long. So we got an ironclad case here, and it's really tight. We could have added in all kinds of arguments, but why? This is a bare bones, 1-page affidavit, okay? And it's so basic, well worth the reading. Now, what we do have a situation, so basically, what we're saying here is that this case law precedence is defined as the genesis of what the Dictionary of Canadian Law defines as freedom and free society, which our electoral district has determined to mean that we hold a guarantee for everyone under its common law jurisdiction to make a profit from protecting our marijuana beliefs, just like anybody can, as opposed to anyone, as long as we remain within the parameters of RVOs, namely a lawful defense for medical need. Now, I could have chose the word protect, benefiting from protecting our beliefs. No, but I went making a profit. And if they kick it down to benefit, I'm still happy. Okay? Go for more, accept less. That's compromise, okay? But technically, any EDA agent can make a profit by protecting our beliefs, by supplying people who benefit from a genuine medical need. And implied in that is the guy who's supplying doesn't need to be sick. Really, okay? It gets deep law and whatever. Okay, now, bottom line is we're standing under the fact that, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, people willingly and actually offered to pay taxes to protect their beliefs in their society, which is their community. It's the foundation of law and order. And we're saying that we, the Marijuana Party, now that the feds are charging a 5% tax to protect their beliefs, means we can charge a tax to the 10% tax, okay, to protect our beliefs, because we're actually protecting them, because we're giving, in our case, we're giving it to the city, and they'll share it with the province with their separate deal, okay? And in Ontario, the province will get it, and they'll share it with the city through their separate deal. And technically, the city and the province are better ahead, and they actually have the desire and the fiduciary trust to protect your beliefs as soon as you remit a tax to them. Isn't that cool? And that's actually the foundation of good business and a well-structured, prosperous society for a few thousand years. Okay? And this harpster is now trying to say that he is forcing you, through consent of the government. You went and got a tax form. You agreed to live by the terms of the Tax Act on the condition that you remit a 5% sales tax to the federal government. Okay, now you're under Revenue Canada jurisdiction. Okay? That means you're one court date away. Okay? All people who are signed up to pay a sales tax are one court date away from having a court ruling saying, hey guys, you're still doing a crime, and we just said that these guys over here are not committing a crime. That it was 3, now it's 8 MMPR guys with licenses who want to supply pot and pay taxes, and in so doing be compliant with the MMPR, therefore they're not committing a crime. And 3,700 growers and 37,000 members are going to be screwed, because the growers are going to disappear, because they have no avenue to pay taxes. They have submitted to paying taxes. And one of those rules is, if the government says, we're not taking your taxes, that means you have to stop doing business. Under the marijuana beliefs, everyone can benefit from the beliefs of remitting a tax. And we're doing that to the city or the province. It's a really cool argument. And basically, it's a real short read. Okay, wrap your head around it. The Marijuana Party is saying that since the feds are collecting a tax of 5% to protect their beliefs that are going to screw you in the end because you're under contract, under this new unconstitutional government we have, that we, the Marijuana Party, can under contract protect our beliefs by remitting it to the two bodies who actually have the power to do it. And on that, have a very nice day, okay? And you have to make a choice. Who do you love? Who do you pay your taxes to? It's really important. Thank you.